Hello, welcome back. Day 3, video 3. Now that we've actually covered marketing strategy, and hopefully you've taken the time to develop your unique selling proposition, your USP. It is critical. You'll see it as we go along. Now we want to talk about market execution. This is your market plan. Some people call part of your marketing plan is developing your channels or your routes to your potential clients. How can they reach you? How can they find out about you? How can you reach out to them? Incidentally, I want to take a moment to show you something. I said I would send this out. I want to show you what it is. I'll send this out to all the people who are on the training class Monday at 9 p.m. We'll send out a webinar invite. Sign up for it. Come join us. Come participate in the call. It'll only help you because that way you'll get a chance for question and answer and feedback. Here's what I'll send out. It's the Freelance Method Easy Marketing. And it's really going to have a little bit more detail than I can show you on the PowerPoint presentation about developing your marketing strategy and your plan, and goes through some specifics that I think will be very helpful. Most of it is in the form of questions, as you see. If you can answer those questions, by the time you're done, you'll have really developed your strategy and your plan. Okay, so getting back to the marketing plan, let's talk about how you do that. Missed slide. There we go. Here we go. Developing your marketing plan. It's the one thing to keep in mind is the best way. You want to figure out what's the best way to tell the world about me and my unique selling proposition, my USP. Well, the way you do that, you've developed these specific tactics. There's going to be many of them, or multiples, that that they're designed to kind of hit your potential client in different ways. Is to get as many people as possible aware about you, and for you to actually transact with them. It's not good enough to develop awareness. They have to transact with you. So the first way I want to talk about is inside Odesk. There's a couple different things we're talking about: inside Odesk and outside Odesk. How do you market yourself? What are the tactics you're going to use? The first one is we've already worked a lot on, and that's working on your brand. That's profile work. On inside Odesk, your profile is you. It's your brand. People look at and read your profile, and they'll figure out who is this person, what is he good at. That's your brand. So you've already done that, or at least you're continuing to work on it. Good job. You've already taken over the first step, taken on the first step, and hopefully beat it already. The second part is inside Odesk is strike fast, strike hard. What I mean by that is this. Strike fast means whenever there's a job out there. Go back to our customer service support. Whenever there's a job posted, one of the key things you'll want to do is apply quickly. Be one of the first ones to apply for any new position. Why? It's simple. It's human nature. It's what you're relying upon. Whenever I use Odesk, when I've hired before off of other means, typically there's a lot more candidates, a lot more resumes, a lot more people applying than I really have time to deal with. What is human nature is to look through the first few and get a feel for it, and to pay attention closely and heavily on the first few and read it all the way through. And if something catches your eye, you'll stop on that. But because you have such volume, you begin to speed up as you get to the bottom. You're just kind of flying through the end. So whereas a prospective employer may spend, let's say, 30 seconds to a minute on the first 3 or 4 or 5, by the time they're down on the 30th or 50th, they're looking at it for 5 seconds. So you really increase your chances by applying quickly. Let me show you how to make it easier and to automate this. This is key. Listen carefully. You automate that by developing a template or a saved search. So every time there's a new job in your field, you get an email or an update. Let's say, for instance, I showed you how to do this before, but I'm going to do it real quick. Search jobs from 100 down to 100. Customer service, phone support, and customer service support. That decreases it, or increases it actually. I'm going to take off the phone support. I don't want to add to it at this point. I only want hourly. Down to 80. Part-time, ongoing. Okay. Now look, there's 16 jobs, but I want to save this search. This is called customer service search 1. And then look, here's a box. Email me updates to this search. You can do 10 saved searches, but you want to check that box. This is key. Check that box, save your search. That way, whatever email you have that's in your profile, personal email, every time a job is posted in that, it'll pop up in your inbox. Hopefully you have that forwarded to your phone. Almost everyone does these days. So as soon as that happens, you can jump right on it and quickly apply. That's going to be one of the key tactics you're going to use to get more jobs. So that's strike fast. Strike hard is something we've already talked about, and that is having to do with your profile and not your profile, but your cover letter. Whenever you apply for jobs, you have essentially one shot to impress them. Two shots, really. It's your profile combination with your cover letter. Your cover letter you want to make as good as possible. Do not use canned or oversimplified ones, but spend time working on that. That way it's hard, it's strong, it's a great sales approach. So strike fast and strike hard. Now, the other ones that we're going to talk about, the other tactics, really involve outside Odesk. We're going to go ahead and squeeze in the first one here on this video before we go on and close out with the fourth. The first one is kicking it old school. When it comes to marketing yourself outside of Odesk, there's something to be said for business cards, advertising, PR, and networking. That's old school marketing right there. Those are all old school marketing tactics that almost every company in the world employs. Go ahead and get yourself some cards. Freelance writer, freelance software developer. I actually am going to show you free cards. There's one main company that does it. They are, hang on a second, I need free business cards. Here we are, Vistaprint. They're the first organically, and you can sign up for free business cards right here. It costs you $3 for 250. It does cost you shipping as well, but just the cost of it is $3. You can't beat that for 250. You have all these designs you can choose from. This is kind of cool application though. Check this out. I like simple, but I'm going to put the company name and let's call it Pepperjacked. See, it changes it right there. That is pretty cool, I think. And then job title is, let's say, Chief of the World. It changes it right there. That's pretty cool to me, I think. You can use that. Feel free to. It's Vistaprint. We don't get paid for that. I just thought it's a cheap way to do it. You guys would like to know it. Go back, though. One more. Okay, here we go. So, again, going back to old school, is you want to go ahead and get your cards, pass them out, and don't pass them out judiciously. Pass them out to all kind of people you meet. Start talking to people about what you're capable of. We're not going to go into it here, but as you pass out your card, you should have an elevator pitch. It's a 30-second pitch about what you do and why you're better than most. Without sounding salesy, it's just a really quick synopsis of here's what I can do for you. The second thing is ads. I don't mean ads in a newspaper. I don't think those necessarily all that effective, but I do believe in ads in Craigslist. Craigslist has a section called gigs. Let's say you're in Denver. If you look on this here, it's jobs. You can apply for jobs and do that, but really it's gigs that computer, creative, domestic, writing, the services is the same thing. You can really advertise in there and expect to pick up some, maybe, if you're really good and present yourself well. You can possibly do that. You can always use PR if you're in a small town, using the newspaper to announce to the world. It's a kind of a cool personal piece sometimes. I'll look at it as someone in Des Moines or someone in Augusta, Georgia, or somewhere in a small town outside of Austin, Texas. They might consider a cool article to have in the personal section about how you're starting your career as a freelancer. Then finally, not enough can be said about networking. Networking not only online, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, but also networking in person, getting your friends. And here's what I mean: you should get your friends to hire you right away on Odesk. Help build up your reputation. Call in some favors. It'll help you get started and going strong. Do some work for them, but ask for a favor to get them to hire you. It'll help you overcome one of the biggest hurdles. Okay, that's it for video 3. Talk to you next time.